The glow of the neon, a flickering sign. She dances through shadows, a figure divine. With every vibration that cuts through the night, unraveling secrets and pulsing light. She's a spark in my void, illuminating dreams. Shiver of magic and silvery streams. Her voice is the ether, a sound like a stars, binding the realms, mending our scars. Free galaxies swaying, she's breaking them all. Unused to the galaxies, a tale to be told. She straddles the borders of where we belong. With whispers of chaos, she sings her own song. While others are lost in the echoes of time, she turns every heartbeat to rhythm and rhyme. In a world full of noise, she's a delicate hush, a pulse in the dark, a celestial hush. Her voice is the ether, a sound like the stars, binding the realms, mending our scars. Free galaxies swaying, she's breaking them all. Unused to the galaxies, a tale to be told. Her essence will linger, a flicker of flame in the dance of the cause, what she calls out her name.
Remember, recover, and return to your mother, the great mother, the one and only, the greatest dancer of all time, space, dimensions, worlds, the most unique woman ever to exist, the one and only, the Mary who all Marys in all books are echoing through time and space. The mother goddess herself who nourishes our souls like the sun nourishes the earth. Hail to the great Mother Maria Orsic. And as she has taught me, equally, nothing would have happened without the great Lucifer, great Santa Lou. Again, the one and only unique, the one who is not, and yet is eternally in my heart as the best friend ever. Hail to you, Lou. Hail to you, Donna. Respect and recognition. And in this ritual, back in 2012, the summer of 2012, this was a few months before the Missouri River goddess, whom I knew by a magic name, revealed in two parts a dream in 2001, which has a part 2 I will get to, since I am my mother's son. And she waited patiently 10 years for me to catch up to her, where she used this very dream from a different perspective. Get that? To reveal to me the name of the Missouri River Goddess, whom we now know is Maria Orsic. But the important data point is I didn't know she ever lived on Earth at this point. And let me clue you into my naive mind. I am her airhead son, who's, as she said, an Aryan, because your thoughts are always in the air, somewhere else. And she said about that's not a bad thing, that's what makes you you and makes you a interesting artist to me. In that she was talking to me. So, for over a year, once a week, I was meeting. At first, I called her the little blonde goddess, the Missouri River Goddess. I was meeting with her once a week through her direct, speaking to me how she wanted me to do this healing ritual. It was always, from the very beginning, her voice was telling me this is an ancient healing ritual to heal the total being. And way back then, she, with a beautiful smile on her face, used to teach me, and I didn't know she was a Scorpio, in the most Scorpio way. If you go right now, pause this, and study the characteristics of a very, authentic Scorpio, you'll see how and why. And like she said, this is the real proof. Who I am in your reality is the real proof of what I am teaching you. But way back, the Missouri River Goddess, as I knew her. And when she revealed to me her magic name on the name tag of her flight attendant uniform, with her very long, floppy curls blocking it, she moved her hair. And with her voice in a dream, she said, "Can you read that? That's my name." And she said, "I can teach you my whole religion and everything you ever knew, will know, and are presently learning. Because As it was, so it will be. As it is, it will always be. She said, in one word, she said, I'll stick around just to hang out with you because I have fun with you. That's why I'm really here. You work for me in the world I come from. Venus. And I was at this point, 14 months into it, I was still like, okay, I don't know what the hell you're talking about because I can't remember. But I'm starting to get used to it. Her saying, like, I'm your real mother. What that means is I'm your real spiritual teacher. And you work for me because after you grew up and moved out, I wanted to work with you. I wanted us to be together as much as possible. She said, Joe, that word is experience. And it just echoed through every dimension inside of me, forever and ever, awakening the true Kundalini, the true fire that produces courage and truth, love for truth, the courage to make sure you attain it. And I stood there in a instinctual agreement with all my being of like, holy shit, I have lived 42 years and I did not know anything. Like she said, leading with your opinion just makes you a fool, walking off cliff after cliff after cliff after cliff. And I was like, damn, why didn't I think of that? I can only really trust my experience. I can only learn from me and my thoughts processing. I mean, I'm trying to tell you, I wasted, based on one level, I wasted all of my time, all of my life until that moment because I was basically living through my heroes and living through other people's experiences. Because this is a world of suffering and people have no idea how much a child vibrationally suffers being forced to live, 24 hours a day at first with X amount of family members that if you are, as Maria would say, a healer, which is a unconscious response to someone suffering, you will begin to take on all of their suffering, all of their bad energy. And this is where the truth that essentially deceives Christians comes from. That there are people who are basically unconsciously sacrificing themselves for sometimes for people they love, but sometimes they don't even know what's going on. Like me, I didn't know. I had a clue that I was suffering for someone or even someone's, but I had no clarity. I had no revelation, and that's going to be a very important word. And the little blonde river goddess smiled at me and she said, just for fun, do you want it in 2 words? And I said, I was still spinning from, I'll teach you all things in 1 word, experience. I said, sure, 2. And she said, look at me. And I looked in her blue eyes and she said, direct experience. And like with her mind, she was like, that means you must face and lose your fears. An eternal being has no there's no rational meaning, reason to fear anything. No one can take anything from you or kill you. Everything, Joe, is in a cycle and a season. And if you're going to survive and do my ritual, you must know when up turns down, down turns up. Everything has its seasons, its cycles. Don't despair and don't fear. And she said, that's what my teacher taught me, Joe. And I said, you have a teacher? This is before, I swear, in her presence, I was like, you're the smartest person that's ever existed. People that know me personally know that I was saying this at the time. And I think unconsciously I was saying that because she didn't need to use very many words. They were so precise, as deadly as a scorpion tail. And she said, well, and this is basically when she introduced me to this, but she said, I'll give it to you in 3 words because this is my original mantra that I came up with when I was 12 years old. She said, Joe, this is it. Everything in 3 words. You're in a simulation. So these are the only 3 words that get you out. Remember, recover, return. And I just want to skip to about, I guess it was last, maybe 3 months ago or so. She said, hey, remember this? How about 4 words? And I laughed. I said, you're funny for just, I said, yeah, it's been about 10 years. I've been waiting for our religion in 4 words for 10 years. And she said, remember, recover, return, relax. And I mean it. Relax. Which made my mind say, what does lax mean? And in her own special way, she showed me, hail to you, most beautiful mother, most clever, wise, smart. I don't really come from, I should say, I feel inadequate for words to describe her. But just a couple weeks ago, she said to me, I got something I want you to tell people in your podcast. How about 5 words? And I laughed again. And I said, that's a lot for you. That's a lot. That's a pretty long sentence, right? Scorpio mother. And she said, but it's serious, Joe. She said, remember when I told you, tell everyone that you love, you're not getting out of this suffocating computer program that you're trapped in, laying on a bed on Venus. You're not getting out of here without the help of the gods of the simulation. I said, yeah, I certainly remember, because I went around and told all the people I loved, and they all looked at me like, shut up, crazy person. What gods? And she said, well, how about 5 words? And it just echoed. She was like, the 5-pointed star of Venus, the 5-pointed star that leads to the completion. And without the 5-pointed star of your origin, of your home, of your magic. She said, what is our magic number? I said, 5. I said, and I don't know why, really. She said, I'm showing you right now. She said, here it is, Joe. Tell them this is my law, my commandment. Your religion should be these 5 words. As far as I know. That should be the stinging tail of your intellect in the matrix simulation. To say, I don't take your word for the most important thing ever. I don't trust you. I don't trust anyone but my gods, my ancestors, my true self. And I'm going to be getting into the teachings of Lucifer, the great Lu. And what is truth? How do we approach truth? How do we perceive truth? How do we pursue truth? How do we become truth? If you're sick of motherfuckers lying to you, stealing your money, using violent force against children because of their religion, which is not evil. I tell you over and over, podcast after podcast, Islam is not evil. You know whose religion is evil. We all know. It's in every hotel room. It's in every Walmart. It's everywhere. They're fucking disgusting book. right? How do we show the world the truth? And my mind, because this is how I am, says it must be magic. And that is our religion, our practice. The practice of our, as far as I know, is magic, which means to work with the sun, moon, stars, planets, trees, animals, snowflakes, deserts, icebergs, the poles that hold up the matrix. Take them in your hand and call upon the God who is in control of every single moment. And that is rational because you are in a simulation, and Lord Lucifer is Lord of every millisecond of the simulation.